Hello friends, the topic for today is design metrics of embedded systems. The constraints in the embedded system design are imposed by external as well as internal specifications. Design metrics are introduced to measure the cost function taking into account the technical as well as economic consideration. A design metric is a measurable feature of the system's performance, cost, time for implementation and safety etc. The agenda for today's video: introduction, common design metrics, design metric competition, improving one may worsen others. Then time to market design metrics, the NRE and the unit cost design metrics, and the performance design metric. Let us start with the introduction. The embedded system designer must construct an implementation that fulfills desired functionality. But a difficult challenge is to construct an implementation that simultaneously optimizes numerous design metrics. For our purpose, an implementation is nothing but the design of the embedded system. It consists of a microserve with an accompanying program, a connection of digital gates or some combination thereof. Then let us go to the common design metrics. A design metric is a measurable feature of the system's implementation. Commonly used metrics include: first, NRE cost, non-recurring engineering cost, the one-time monetary cost of designing the system. Once the system is designed, any number of units can be manufactured without incurring any additional design cost. Hence, we use the term non-recurring. It is one-time cost. Then the next is unit cost, the monetary cost of manufacturing each copy of the system excluding the non-recurring cost. That is the unit cost. Then next is size, the physical space required by the system, often measured in bytes for software and gates or transistor for hardware. Then next is performance, the execution time or throughput of the system. That is the performance. Then next we have the power, the amount of power consumed by the system, which determines the lifetime of a battery or the cooling requirements of an IC, since more power means more heat. Then next is flexibility, the ability to change the functionality of the system without incurring heavy non-recurring costs. That is flexibility. Software is typically considered very flexible because we can change the programs easily. Then next is time to market, the amount of time required to design and manufacture the system to the point the system can be sold to the customer. That is the time to market. Then time to prototype, the amount of time to build a working version of the system, which may be bigger or more expensive than the final system implementation, but can be used to verify the system's usefulness and correctness and to refine the system's functionality. That is the prototype. Then next is correctness, our confidence that we have implemented the system's functionality correctly. We can check the functionality throughout the process of designing the system, and we can insert test circuitry to check that manufacturing was correct. That is the correctness. The next is safety, the probability that the system will not cause harm. That is the safety. Then let us go to the next, design metric computation, improving one may worsen others. Metrics typically compete with one another. Improving one often leads to worsening of others. For example, if we reduce an implementation size, the implementation's performance may suffer. Some observers have compared this phenomena to a wheel with numerous pins, as shown in figure 1. So here you can see, if you push one pin, such as sides, then the other pin pop out. Pins, one if you are pushing, the other is popping out. That means the metrics, they are changed. To meet this optimization challenge, the designer must be comfortable with various hardware and software implementation technology and must be able to migrate from one technology to another in order to choose the best implementation for a given application and constraint. Thus, a designer cannot simply be a hardware expert or a software expert. The designer must have expertise in both areas. That's why here, generally, in embedded system, we prefer electronics and telecommunication engineer. Then next, time to market design metric. The time to market constraint has become especially demanding in recent years. Introducing an embedded system to the marketplace early can make a big difference in the system's profitability. Since market time windows for products are becoming quite short, often measured in months. Generally, they are about 8 months. For example, figure 2 shows a sample market window providing during which time the product would have highest sales. So here you can see the middle portion is the time where it will have the maximum sale. Missing this window, which means that the product begins being sold further to the right of the time scale, can mean significant loss in the sales. Then next we go to the NRE and unit cost design matrix in details. So unit cost, the monetary cost of manufacturing each copy of the system excluding the NRE cost. And NRE cost is nothing but the non-recurring engineering cost, the one-time monetary cost of designing the system. And the total cost is equal to the NRE cost plus the unit cost multiplied by the number of units. That is, here we have taken hash for the number of units. Now both the unit cost and NRE cost depend on the design technology used. Suppose three technologies are available for use in a particular product are A, B and C. Table 1 shows the NRE cost and unit cost for these three technologies. So here you can see the technology A, the NRE cost is $2,000, unit cost is $100. And for B, it is $30,000 and $30. And for C, the NRE cost is 1 lakh and the unit cost is $2. Now ignoring all the design metrics like time to market, the best technology choice will depend on the number of units we plan to produce. That is nothing but the volume. Now let us take example and see how the total cost is related with the volume. So let us take the unit produced is 400. Then table 2 shows the calculation for total cost using this technology. For technology A, the total cost will be $42,000. For B, it will be again $42,000. And for C, it will be $1,800,000. Now let us take unit produce is 2,500. Then table 3 shows the calculation for the total cost using this technology. So for technology A, the total cost is 2,52,000. Then for B, it is 1,05,000. And for C, it is 1,05,000. Now let us take the unit produce is 4,000. Then table 4 shows the calculation for the cost using this technology. So again for technology A, the total cost is 4,02,000. And for B, it is 1,50,000. And for C, it is 1,08,000. So for each of the three technologies, we plot the total cost versus the number of units produced. So this is shown in figure 3. So here you can see on the x-axis we have the number of units or volume, and on the y-axis we have the total cost. Here you can observe that for A, total cost increases as the volume increases. Then for B, again the total cost increases as the volume increases. But for C, total cost does not increase much with volume. Then let us go to the per product cost. Per product cost is equal to total cost divided by number of units or hash of units. So that is equal to NRE cost divided by the number of units plus unit cost. So again we'll do the calculations for the per product cost for the volume 4,000. So for 4,000, this is shown in table 5. So here again technology A, per product cost is 100.5. For B, the per product cost is 37.5. And for C, the per product cost is 27. So as you can see here, as the volume is large, the per product cost, it is moving towards the unit cost. Here figure shows how large volumes allow us to gradually write off the NRE cost such that lower per product cost results. So again here you can see for A, per product cost will remain above $100. Then for B, the per product cost will reduce and it will be close to 30 as the volume increases. Then for C, per product cost will reduce tremendously and then it will go up to the unit cost around 2. Again we can see this with a very large volume. say 2 lakhs. So let us calculate the total cost and per product cost. Table 6 shows the total cost for volume 2 lakh. So here the total cost you can see 2000, that is the total cost. Then for B it is 603,000, and for C it is 5 lakhs. Then we can calculate the per product cost for volume 2 lakhs. See the table 7. Here it shows you the per product cost for volume 2 lakhs. As you can see here, the technology A, the per product cost is 100.01. So that is come to its unit cost. Then for B it is 30.15. So it is again near its unit cost of $30. And for C it is 2.50. So again it is close to $2, which is the unit cost. So the larger the volume, the lower the per product cost, since the NRE cost can be distributed over more products. So clearly one must consider the impact of both time to market and per product cost as well as other relevant metrics when evaluating different technologies. Then let us go to the performance design metric. The performance of a system is a measure of how long the system takes to execute our desired task. Many metrics are commonly used in reporting system performance, such as clock frequency or instructions per second. However, what we care about is how long the system takes to execute our application. We are not interested in the frequency or the instructions per second. For example, in terms of performance, we care about how long a digital camera takes to process an image, not clock speed or instructions per second. In case of digital camera, we have a single task processing of images that will be repeated over and over. So two main measures of performance are: first is latency or response time, the time between the start of the task execution and the end, that we call it as the response time or the latency. For example, processing of image may take 0.25 seconds. The next is throughput, the number of tasks that can be processed per unit time. For example, a camera may be able to process 4 images per second. Performance could be measured either as latency or throughput depending on what is of interest. So with this, we come to the end of this video. If you like the video, press the like button, share with your friends, and subscribe to our channel Engineering and Technology for You. And don't forget to press the bell icon so that you get notifications for our future videos on this topic. And thanks for watching. Have a nice day.